All right, guys. So, to talk about abortion a little bit more, Isaiah 61 1 to 3, God talks about how He will bring beauty from the ashes that we have in our life when we're dealing with abortion. So, I'm just kind of laying back here, relaxing, talking about this. When I look back at my healing process and think about what kind of beauty has God brought into my life, I will say I am blessed. I'm thankful for the growth I've had. I'm blessed because if that did not happen, a forced abortion, and this is the thing that came out of this, God's plan for me, is I would have not known Him in the way that I know Him. What had happened was definitely awful, wrong. God meant it for good. They meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. And I can tell you right now, post-abortive women probably know God in a way that other people do not. There is a brokenness there, a brokenness that brings the intimacy with God. And even for me, I just wrote an email about how men have cried for me when I have shared my story. And, that breaks my heart again. It breaks you again to see, especially me, where I'm not like a crier. And I have had very few times I've cried in my life. And then it's like, we women tend to be very independent and very, we carry the load ourselves. And the thing is, when we carry that load ourselves, and then we see the men cry and they are carrying that load too, it just breaks your heart again. And even a pastor saying to me as I became a member, I've never had this happen before, but a pastor saying, I will be committing to carrying your load, your burden with you through life. He's committing to be praying for me. I've never met men like this, men who actually care this much on a spiritual level and who care about that trauma that I went through. When you've had men use you and only want one thing from you, cry to manipulate you, it's really a different type of tear. So the beauty that I've gotten from this whole experience is a intimacy with God that, I would go through it again to know Christ in a way that I do. It brings a softness to me. It brings out my femininity, to have that type of intimacy with God. And many times women will run from God. They have had an abortion, they are in denial, and they will just run from Him instead of running to the cross. So that's the beauty we get. We get joy instead of the mourning once we heal.